Hi, welcome in everyone. I'm Sal, your today's host, and oh hey, thanks Meat Wings. Oh my gosh, we have a hype train going on, or hype train incoming. Nice. Thank you so much, Jazz Forever, for subbing at tier 1 for 2 months. Wow. Choice, thank you so much for subbing. Thank you all for being here. Tonight we have a kind of spicy, it's definitely a spicier book, so yeah, like I'm excited that you're here to listen to it. Let's go. What up, Gomer? What up, Hayes? I'm nice. Oh, nice. Just Forever, thank you so much for gifting a tier 1 sub to Socialist Activity. Okay, so if you have just subbed, please use your emote that we just got. Check these emotes out. Check this out. Absolutely stunning. Ahab's in the chat. Love that. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Hey, thank you. Just Forever. You are so generous. Gifting V in Africa a sub. All these Ahabs are beautiful. Yes, Ahab. Okay, yeah. I guess I'll get started. It's I have like 2 parts to this, but I don't know how far we're gonna get. But oh my gosh, is this the spiciest book? Has anybody read this book before? Oh my gosh! Thank you, Comrade Black, for subbing. That means a lot to us. Yeah, so many subs. Hype Train level 2. Jesus. Thank you all for this. This, everything that we make is going to go towards equipment, so you can hear and see us better. So we're not super scuffed. Initially, and then, you know, it'll go to other stuff. Okay. Here we go. I'm the most popular and the coolest. That is just objectively true. Yes, Hayes is the smartest and the coolest. This is facts. Alright, we need a change of music though. Chill piano. I think there's only one chill piano song that is playable on here. Ahab. Oh, I was like, what is that? But it's really just crickets. I don't need crickets behind me. Okay, let's see about lo-fi. Okay. Coolness is inversely proportionate to Twitter followers. Inversely. Oh, was that a diss? Was that a Hayes diss? Oh shit.
But they say I'm a tanky, yeah I'm a tanky, yeah I'm a tanky. We're riding that tank, mowing down the fucking snowflakes.
I hope you love that. Okay. Nice. Nice, V. Yeah, Twitter followers definitely does not mean you're cool, because I'm definitely a loser. Okay, here we go.
And I think most people are creative in one way or the other. A lot of people feel like they have a book in them or they have a song in them.
Okay.
Show idea.
Okay, so the definition of the urban guerrilla. The urban guerrilla is a person who fights the military dictatorship with weapons using unconventional methods. A revolutionary and ardent patriot, he is a fighter for his country's liberation, a friend of the people and of freedom. The area in which the urban guerrilla operates is in the large Brazilian cities. Okay, so this is written by Carlos Marighella, and Carlos was fighting the military dictatorship in Brazil. In what year? Hold on. There's actually a movie too, which I totally want to watch. 1969. Cool. Oh, nice. We got level 1 hype train emotes. Look at that little puppy. Aw. So cute. Okay. Choo choo. IRA tactics. Oh no, my dog Rebecca. She's so scared. There's thunder out right now. It's okay, Rebecca. Poor Rebecca. Okay. Yeah, she's a little peanut. Thank you. There are also criminals or outlaws who work in the big cities. Many times, actions taken by criminals are taken to be the actions by urban guerrillas. Urban guerrillas, however, differ. The urban guerrilla, however, differs radically from the criminal. The criminal benefits personally from his actions and attacks indiscriminately without distinguishing between the exploiters and the exploited, which is why there are so many ordinary people among his victims. The urban guerrilla follows a political goal and only attacks the government, big business, and foreign imperialists. Another element just as harmful to the guerrilla as the criminal and also operates in the urban area is the counter-revolutionary, who creates confusion, robs banks, throws bombs, kidnaps, assassinates, and commits the worst crimes imaginable against the urban guerrilla, revolutionary priests, students, and citizens who oppose tyranny and seek liberation. This song is like not a song, but it's like a dude talking. Like, what? No, I don't like that song. It's terrible. What? Oh, yeah, I told you this one. Today's is spicy. Today's a little spicy. All right. The whitest name. Yeah, it's Rebecca. She's cute. When did I... I got her a few years ago. She is only like 6 pounds, which is really funny. Friends who end up on a watch list together stay together. True. Oh my god. If... I can't... Never mind. I'm not gonna even... We'll talk about the Taliban tomorrow on the news channel. Tomorrow, Reggie and I will be giving you the news from a proletarian perspective. So that's going to be really fun. And by fun, I mean we can all get depressed together. Yay! Oh my god. Yeah, this book is badass. The urban guerrilla is an implacable... Why can't I say that? Implacable? 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 What word is this?
Implacable.
Implacable. Unable to be placated. Okay, so that means you can't... You can't... You can't make them happy. Unpleasable. Okay. The urban guerrilla is implacable. Is an implacable enemy of the regime, the systematically inflicts damage on the authorities and on the people who dominate the country and exercise power. The primary task of the urban guerrilla is to distract, to wear down, to demoralize the military regime and its repressive forces, and also to attack and destroy the wealth and property of the foreign managers and the Brazilian upper class. The urban guerrilla is not afraid to dismantle and destroy the present Brazilian economic, political, and social system, for his aim is to aid the rural guerrillas and to help in the creation of a totally new and revolutionary social and political structure with the armed population in power. Yeah, we are on right now personal qualities of the urban guerrilla, which is like the second little sub part to this. The urban guerrilla is characterized... Oh, there's also some stuff that I cannot say, so if you want to pull the book up, that would be cool, because like I literally cannot say some of the stuff because it's that spicy. But yeah, this is a really good book. I like this book. Hey, thanks for following, Comrade Voltron. Welcome in. The urban guerrilla is characterized by his bravery and his decisive nature. He must be a good tactician and a good marksman. The urban guerrilla must be a person of great cleverness to compensate for the fact that he is not sufficiently strong in weapons, ammunition, and equipment. The career military officer and the government police have modern weapons and transport and can go about anywhere freely, using the force of their own strength. The urban guerrilla does not have such resources at his disposal and leads a clandestine existence. A guerrilla may be a convicted person or one who is out on parole and must then use false documents. Nevertheless, the urban guerrilla has an advantage over the conventional military or the police. It is that while the military and police act on behalf of the enemy, who the people hate, the urban guerrilla defends a just cause, which is the people's cause. Which that's super important, you know, because we always talk about this. That's why Blankism is adventurism, you know, like we need the people on our side. What about a marksman? I'm a marksman. I'm an Inglesman. Yeah, me too. I'm an Inglesman. A Engelsist Leninist. Okay. The urban guerrilla's weapons are inferior to the enemy's weapons, but from the moral point of view, the urban guerrilla has an undeniable superiority. This moral superiority is what sustains the urban guerrilla. Thanks to it, the urban guerrilla can accomplish his principal duties, which is to attack and to survive. The urban guerrilla has to capture or steal weapons from the enemy to be able to fight, because his weapons are not uniform. Since what he has are expropriated or have fallen into the hands of into his hands in various ways, the urban guerrilla faces a problem of a variety of weapons and a shortage of ammunition. Moreover, he has no place in which the practice shooting, Moreover, he has no place in which to practice shooting and marksmanship. These difficulties have to be overcome by forcing the guerrilla to be imaginative and creative, qualities without which it would be impossible for him to carry out his role as a revolutionary. Engels is Stalinist Gonzalez. Ban Southern Socialism? Just kidding. Oh my god, he really is. Hayes has been doing like Trotsky stuff. I know. Frog is right. We know you're a trot. Just come out with it. Yes, we do. Ahab. Oh my gosh. If you are subbed, throw your Ahabs in the chat. Let's see. Woo! Ahab. I love it. Absolutely love it. Sorry, babes. Trotsky's equals Hotsky. Ahab. Yeah. We're gonna need more Ahabs in the chat. You should lie. You should lie. Call me Captain Ahab. Let's see. I used my Prime. Oh, yeah. Like, I used my little Prime thing to get myself an Ahab, so I can use that other places where I see haze. Look at those beautiful bouncing Ahabs. Okay. The urban gorilla must possess initiative, mobility, and oh my god. Are you okay, dog? Okay. Initiative, mobility, and flexibility, as well as versatility and a command of any situation. So, oh my god, I love this book is like, you need to be a Chad. Just be a Chad. That's what this book is saying. Initiative especially is indispensable as a quality, right? So, initiative. You have to take initiative. Nobody's going to walk your hand as a fucking gorilla. You know, you have to design plans for yourself and then accomplish them. It is not always possible to foresee everything, and the urban gorilla cannot let himself be confused or wait for instructions. His duty is to act and to find adequate solutions for problems he faces each day and to retreat. It's better to err than acting than to do nothing for fear of making a mistake. Without initiative, there is no urban guerrilla warfare. The important qualities, or other important qualities in the urban guerrilla are the following. You have to be a good walker. You have to be able to stand up against fatigue, hunger, rain, or heat. You have to know how to hide and how to be vigilant. To conquer the art of disassembling. Never to fear danger. To behave the same by day as by night. To never act impetuously. To have unlimited patience. To remain calm and cool in the worst of conditions and situations, never to leave a track or trail, and never to get discouraged. In the face of the almost insurmountable difficulties in urban guerrilla warfare, sometimes comrades weaken and give up the fight. The urban guerrilla is not a businessman in an urban company, nor is he an actor in a play. Urban guerrilla warfare, like rural guerrilla warfare, is a pledge which the guerrilla makes to himself. When he can no longer face the difficulties, or if he knows that he lacks the patience to wait, then it is better for him to relinquish his role before he betrays his pledge, for he clearly lacks the basic qualities necessary to be a guerrilla. All A's are best. No, don't change the meaning. Marxist-Leninist Ahabist. Rebecca does not say Ahab. Never to act impetuously. Commie Twitter completely in shambles. For real, myself included. Ugh. It's very different from a conventional army where you wait for orders. Yeah. In guerrilla force, there's more non-hierarchical. Yeah, I mean, yeah, for sure. Well, it's decentralized as well, which means that they may not communicate with, like, other cells. Okay. How the urban gorilla lives. The urban gorilla must be... Excuse me. The urban gorilla must know how to live amongst the people, and he must be careful not to appear strange or different from the ordinary city life. He must not wear clothes that are different from those that other people wear. Elaborate or high-fashion clothes for men and women may often be a handicap if the urban gorilla missions take him to working-class neighborhoods or sectors where such dress is uncommon. The same care has to be taken if the urban gorilla must move from the south of the country to the north and vice versa. The urban gorilla must make his living through his job or his professional activity. If he is known and sought by the police, he must go underground and sometimes must live hidden. Under such circumstances, the urban gorilla cannot reveal his actions to anyone, since this information is always and only the responsibility of the revolutionary organization in which he is participating. The urban gorilla must have a great ability for observation. He must be well informed about everything, particularly about the enemy's movements, and he must be very inquisitive and knowledgeable about the area in which he lives, operates, and travels through. But the fundamental characteristics of the urban gorilla is that he is a man who fights with weapons. Given these circumstances, the very likelihood that he will be able to follow his normal profession for long without being identified by the police, or there is very little likelihood that he will be able to follow his normal profession for long, right? The role of expropriation thus looms as clear as high noon. It is impossible for the urban gorilla to exist and survive without fighting to expropriate. So do you know what expropriate means? Expropriation. Yes, this author is a Marxist. Nice try. Not answering that. I suppose that is a bit of a trap, isn't it? But remember, we're just reading a historical book. It has nothing to do with anything, and we're just reading it for fun. That's what's happening. Confiscation of bourgeois property. Yes. That's right. That's right. It's completely innocent. We're allowed to read books. What is this, 1984? This is so Orwellian. Thus, the armed struggle of the urban gorilla points towards two essential objectives: the physical elimination of the leaders and assistants of the armed forces and the police. Remember, this is a book that we're just reading. And two, the expropriation of government resources and the wealth belonging to the rich businessmen, the large landowners, and the imperialists, with small expropriations used for the sustenance of the individual guerrillas and the large ones for the maintenance of the revolutionary organization itself. This is all in Roblox. Yes. 1984, no! Why don't you expropriate some bitches? Robin Hooding, yeah? Yeah, basically, yeah. Very, very good. It is clear that the armed struggle of the urban guerrilla has other objectives, but here we are referring to two basic objectives. Above all, expropriation. It is necessary for every urban guerrilla to always keep in mind that he can only maintain his existence if he is able to, I can't read this part, and those dedicated to repression. And if he is determined, truly determined, to expropriate the wealth of the rich businessmen, landowner, and imperialist, he will do these things. So yeah, this is when it's best to have your book pulled up. Because this is a spicy part. So spicy. Robin Hood is a wholesome Disney movie with a fox that wears a feather in his hat. Yes, that's adorable. Super spicy. Well, if you read the thing that I just read in my head, not out loud, you'd be like, oh my god. Did he really say that? Yes. Yes, he did. Yes, there you go. Who's reading along with me? Just curious. I'm at work, but I've read it. Oh yeah, you know. Pork nose. Hey, Rock Lee. Wow, that's cool. So I'll say it on stream. I'm brave. Yeah, but you're gonna get us kicked off. Like, you're gonna get us TOS'd. That's the only reason. Like, I'm not afraid to say it. Well, I'm afraid to get our channel locked down because we just started. We just started. Just read along and you'll know what I'm skipping over. You're going to be on this platform a week before your shit gets shut down. Right? Damn, this Roblox walkthrough goes hard. For real! One of the fundamental characteristics of the Brazilian Revolution is that, from the beginning, it developed around expropriation of the wealth of the major businesses, imperialists and landowning interests, without excluding the largest and most powerful commercial elements engaged in the import-export business. And by expropriating the wealth of the principal enemies of the people, the Brazilian Revolution was able to hit them in their vital center with the preferential and systematic attacks on the banking network. That is to say, the most telling blows were leveled at the businessman's nerve system. Right? So the bourgeois don't fucking care if you post shit online. What you need to do is like hurt them, hurt their heart, you know? And that's how you do that, by taking their money. Hello? Take their money. The bank robberies carried out by the Brazilian urban guerrillas hurt big businesses and others. The foreign companies which insure and reinsure the banking capital, and the imperialist companies, the federal and state government, and all of them are systematically expropriated as of now. The fruit of these expropriations has been devoted to the task of learning and perfecting urban guerrilla techniques, the purchase, production, and transportation of weapons, the ammunition for rural areas, the security precautions of the guerrillas, the daily maintenance of the fighters, those who have been liberated from prison by armed force. So these guys were so Chad that when their people would get like in jail, they would break them out of fucking jail. It was totally pog. Yeah, it's totally pog. Where am I at? By armed forces, those who have been wounded, and those who are being persecuted by the police, and to any kind of problem concerning comrades liberated from jail or assassinated by the police and the military dictatorship. The tremendous cost of the Revolutionary War must fall upon the big businesses, on the imperialists, on the large landowners, and on the government too, both federal and state, since they are the exploiters and oppressors of the people. Men of the government, agents of the dictatorship, and foreign imperialism especially, must pay with their... I can't say that part. Must pay for the crimes that they have committed against the Brazilian people. In Brazil, the number of violent actions carried out by urban guerrillas, including executions, explosions, seizures of weapons, ammunitions, explosives, assaults on banks and prisons, etc., is significant enough to leave no room for doubt as to the actual aims of the revolutionaries. all are witnesses to the fact that we are in a full revolutionary war, and that this war can be waged only by violent means. In Brazil, in Roblox. This is the reason why the urban guerrilla uses armed struggles, and why he continues to concentrate his efforts on the physical can't read that part. On the physical removal of the agents of repression, and to dedicate 24 hours a day to expropriation from the people's exploiters. Brazilian Roblox slaps. So right now we're at technical preparations of the urban guerrilla. No one can become an urban guerrilla without paying special attention to technical preparation. It is necessary for every urban guerrilla to keep in mind, or to always keep in mind, that he can only maintain his existence if he's able to... Nice, Frog. Jesus, you're gonna get us kicked off. I have to... Oh, shit. Mod. There we go. I'm gonna delete it. But y'all read it, so there you go. His guerrilla group also kidnapped the U.S. ambassador to exchange prisoners. Nice! That is so badass. That is so badass. Authoritarianism. Sorry. Okay. The technical preparation of the urban guerrilla runs from a concern for his physical condition to a knowledge of and apprenticeship in professions and skills of all kinds, particularly manual skills. So they're saying, like, you need to be able to, like, fix shit, right? You have to be able to fix shit. The urban guerrilla can have a strong physical constitution only if he trains systematically. He cannot be a good fighter if he has not learned the art of fighting. For that reason, the urban guerrilla must learn and practice the various forms of unarmed fighting, of attack, and of personal defense. Other useful forms of physical preparation are hiking, camping, and the practice of survival in the woods, mountain climbing, rowing, swimming, skiing, skin diving, and training as a frogman, fishing, harpooning, and the hunting of birds and small animals and big game. So, be a Chad. That's what we have to do to be good guerrillas. We have to be a Chad. It is very important to learn how to drive a car, to pilot a plane, handle a motorboat and a sailboat, understand mechanics, radio, telephone, electricity, and to have some knowledge of electronics and electronic techniques. It is also important to have a knowledge of topographical information and to be able to determine one's position by instruments or other available resources, to calculate distances, to make maps and plans, to draw to scale, make timings, and work with the angle protractor and a compass. A knowledge of chemistry or color combinations and of stamp making. The mastery of the skills of calligraphy and copying of letters and other techniques are a part of the technical preparation of the urban guerrilla, who is obliged to falsify documents in order to live within society that he seeks to destroy. In the area of makeshift medicine, the urban guerrilla has a special role of being a doctor or understanding medicine, nursing, pharmacology, drugs, basic surgeries, and emergency first aid. Can you guys do all that, please? I just need you to be a complete and total Chad. I'm a frog, man. Oh, is it washed out? Oh, this part. Yeah, I can't fix this part, but... yeah. Sorry, guys. I can do 1/10 of that. Same. Like, I could probably do, like, 1/16 of that. I think my D&D character could do some of that. Yeah, we need to step up our shit. The basic question in the technical preparation of the urban guerrilla is nevertheless how to handle weapons such as the submachine gun, revolver, automatic pistol, FAL, various types of shotguns, carbines, mortars, bazookas, etc. Just, operate a bazooka, no big deal. The knowledge of various types of ammunition and explosives is another aspect to consider. Among the explosives, dynamite must be well understood. I mean, yeah, if you don't understand what you're doing with dynamite, you're gonna blow yourself to smithereens. The use of incendiary bombs, smoke bombs, and other types is also indispensable prior training. To know how to improvise and repair weapons, prepare Molotov cocktails, grenades, mines, homemade destructive devices, how to blow up bridges, tear up and put out service railroads and railroad cars. These are necessities in the technical preparation of the urban guerrilla that can never be considered unimportant. I played enough Minecraft mods. I think I can do all this blindfolded. Mark says, duck, you silly baby. Is this canon between them? In the revolution, I get the bazooka. Nice, TMKF. The last time I tried to fix, like, something electrical, I almost burned my house down, so... yeah, I fucked that shit up. So, like, I'm a musician. I'll serenade y'all while you do this. I love that. Yes. The highest level of preparation for the urban guerrilla is the training camp for technical training. Right? Okay, this is what I'm always talking about, like, in my head. I think I've only talked about this to, like, a couple people, but... yeah, I think we need, like, a fucking camp to, like, train. But only the guerrilla who has already passed preliminary examinations can go to this school. That is to say, one who has passed the test of fire in a revolutionary action. In actual combat against the enemy. So you have to prove yourself first before you can go to their school. The urban guerrilla's weapons. What? I don't know. You'll never know. Never know. Just make it up. It could be anything. Could be literally anything. Cutlery. Yes. It is cutlery. Oh, no! No! No. We ain't having that in the chat. Disgusting. Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. True revolutionaries are no fap. True. Vol cells rise up. The urban guerrilla's weapons are light arms, easily obtained, usually captured from the enemy, purchased, or made on the spot. Light weapons have the advantage of fast handling and easy transport. In general, light weapons are characterized by being short-barreled. This includes many automatic weapons. Automatic and semi-automatic weapons considerably increase the firepower of the urban guerrilla. The disadvantage of this type of weapon for us is the difficulty in controlling it, resulting in wasted rounds or wasteful use of ammunition, corrected only by good aim and precision firing. Men who are poorly trained convert automatic weapons into an ammunition drain. Experience has shown that the basic weapon of the urban guerrilla is the light submachine gun. This weapon, in addition to being efficient, is easy to shoot in an urban area. It's just easy to shoot in an urban area, you guys. It's fine. Is everyone talking about pooling money to buy a farm and commune and nobody talking about buying a farm land for training camp? I know! What the fuck? Did you see that today? And I was like trying to redirect that. They're like, let's go to the commune. And I'm like, let's fucking not go to a commune. That is fucking... That's leaving the fight. That is not revolutionary. Communes are not revolutionary. Not in America. Not right now. No, not here, not now. The urban area in Roblox. Correct. Ugh, yeah, it's been really frustrating. I agree. Annoying. Where am I at? Experience has shown that the basic weapon of the urban guerrilla is the light submachine gun. Excuse me. Rebecca, what do you want? Rebecca's back. Rebecca. What are you doing, Rebecca? Rebecca's on the desk. Hey, Becky. What are you doing? She's like terrified of the thunder right now. She's shaking. Becky, it's okay. Please. Okay. Rebecca, yeah, I always call her a joke. Rebecca, you're a joke. I swear, like, I have a rat too, and the rat is the same size as Rebecca. It's hilarious. Okay, where am I at? This weapon, in addition to being efficient, is easy to shoot in an urban area in Roblox, has the advantage of being greatly respected by the enemy. The guerrilla must thoroughly know how to handle the submachine gun, now so popular and indispensable to the Brazilian urban guerrillas. Rebecca is serious. No, she's a joke. No, she's a joke. Rebecca, are you even a dog? I bet she's not even a dog. The ideal submachine gun for the urban guerrilla is the INA 45 caliber. The other types of submachine guns of different calibers can be used, understanding, of course, the problem of ammunition. This is preferable that the manufacturer, or thus it is preferable that the manufacturing capabilities of the urban guerrilla be used for the production of the one type of submachine gun, so that the ammunition can be used, or can be standardized, right? So they're saying, like, these are the guns that are best because this ammunition is easier to find and it'll go in more guns, right? Each firing group of the urban guerrillas must have a submachine gun handled by a good marksman. The other members of the group must be armed with 38 revolvers or standard weapons. The 32 is also useful for those who want to participate, but the 38 is preferable since its impacts will put the enemy out of action. Hand grenades and conventional smoke bombs can also be considered light weapons. That's what I'm going to choose. I'm going to just have hand grenades and smoke bombs. With defensive power for cover and withdrawal. Okay, so you see that? So it's saying like you know how those are used in a video game. You throw those and then people are like, ah, and then you got some cover for a second and then you can leave. Sal bomb specialist when? Now? Yes, let's go. I'm going to run a P90 so I look cooler and then cry when I have no ammo. Get it chambered or something. Through the case of ammo is scarce. Yeah. Yeah, all the right-wingers bought up all the... I don't even know how you say that. I'm not a gun person. But I want to be. AKs look pretty cool. Haha, just borrow the ammo from the chuds. No problem. Long-barreled weapons are more difficult for the urban guerrilla to transport, and they attract much attention. Black hammer? What? Oh. Oh, nice. Okay. Shotguns can be useful if at close range and point blank. They are useful even for a poor shot. Right? Is you're just gonna blast the shit out of somebody with one of those. Especially at night when precision isn't much help. A pressure air gun can be useful for training in marksmanship. Bazookas and mortars can also be used in action, but the conditions for using them have to be prepared, and the people who use them must be trained. Can't just go handing out bazookas, fellas. The urban guerrilla should not attempt to base his action on the use of heavy weapons, which have major drawbacks in time of fighting that demands lightweight weapons to ensure mobility and speed. Homemade weapons are often as efficient as the best weapons produced in conventional factories, and even sawed-off shotguns is a good weapon for the urban guerrilla fighter. The urban guerrilla's role as a gunsmith has a basic importance. As a gunsmith, he takes care of weapons, knows how to repair them, and in many cases set up a small shop for improvising and producing effective small arms. Experiencing the metallurgy, what the fuck is that? Yeah, while I'm reading, I always have to look up stuff because I don't know every word. Cringe, I don't know every word.
Metallurgy.
Metallurgy, the branch of science and technology concerning with the properties of metals. Nice. Experience in metallurgy and on the mechanical lathe and basic skills the urban guerrilla should incorporate into his manufacturing plans for the construction of homemade weapons. This production and courses in explosives and sabotage must be organized. The primary materials for practice in these courses must be obtained ahead of time to prevent any incomplete apprenticeship. That is to say, so as to leave no room for experimentation. Metallurgy. I have a commie sticker on my case and I get shit for it all the time. Nice. It's hard to find non-chuddy ranges anywhere. Yeah. Molotov cocktails, gasoline. I'm a tanky. Yeah, I'm a tanky.
Yeah, I'm a tanky. We're riding that tank, mowing down the fucking snowflakes.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a tanky. How's this so funny? Nice. That's good, TMKF. Yeah, I still need to get myself a firearm. Okay. Molotov cocktails, gasoline, homemade contrivances such as catapults. You can make a catapult at home. And mortars for firing explosive grenades out of pipes and cans, smoke bombs, mines, conventional explosives such as dynamite and potassium chlorate, plastic explosives, gelatin capsules, and ammunition of every kind are indispensable to such success of the urban guerrilla. Haas read so much theory it broke his brain. Seriously. Oh, nice. Hello, Pasta. 10K is about the price of a good snipe SLS printer. Can you even print with PLA? Because I have a PLA printer, but like the stuff that is PLA, I worry about it like breaking in my hands. I'm like afraid. I'm afraid. Hello, Blot. I could totally rig up a trebuchet if you give me a junkyard to play in. Nice! That would be so cool. People's Liberation Army. No, a PLA is a type of plastic. People's Liberation Army printer. That's funny. Yeah, I didn't think so. It just looks like too brittle. Like it would totally snap in my hands. Yeah, very fragile. Yeah, it seems like they would be. An SLS or SLM printer are required for this application. True. There's a great popular fun video about plastic guns. Nice. I think the plastic would get way too hot and melt. Yeah. Don't you dare look up how to 3D auto sears into robot. If you fire a few rounds through any gun, that shit gets hot. Yeah. I'd say just steal if you wanted to do it that way. Yeah. Okay. Where are we at? Gelatin capsules. Hey, do you guys know what a gelatin capsule is? Because I don't know what they mean by gelatin capsule. Is it poison? I don't think it's poison. What is it? And ammunition of every kind are indispensable to the success of the urban guerrilla's mission. The method of obtaining the necessary materials and munitions will be to buy them or to take them by force in expropriation actions specifically planned and carried out. The urban guerrilla will be careful not to keep any explosives or other material that can cause an accident around for very long, but will always try to use them immediately on their intended targets. The urban guerrilla's weapons and his ability to maintain them constitutes his firepower. By taking advantage of modern weapons and introducing innovations in his firepower, and in the use of certain weapons, the urban guerrilla can improvise many of the tactics of urban warfare. An example of this was the innovation made by the Brazilian urban guerrillas when they introduced the use of submachine guns in their attacks on banks. They say rob banks, sweaty. When the massive use of uniform submachine guns becomes possible, there will be new changes in urban guerrilla warfare tactics. The firing group that utilizes uniform weapons and corresponding ammunition with reasonable care for their maintenance. Hey, thank you so much for subbing, Jake. Welcome. We're talking about very spicy stuff tonight. Feels good, man. Okay, where am I at? Okay, the firing group that utilizes uniform weapons and corresponding ammunition with reasonable care for their maintenance will reach a considerable level of effectiveness. The urban guerrilla increases his effectiveness as he increases his firepower. Oh, whoops. The shot. Gabagool! That's a spicy meatball! What are you talking about? You stupid cannoli! Alright. No more afraidophobia. Yes, if you all want to follow along, we are right there. Thank you so much, TMKF. We are at the chapter, The Shot, the Urban Guerrilla's Reason for Existence. Was that a Molotov cocktail really named after V. Molotov? I don't know, but I think so. I don't know. Here, actually, let me not do a Tim poll. Let me fucking look it up. Mamma mia. The name Molotov cocktail was coined by the Finns during the Winter War, called Molotovin Cocktaili in Finnish. When the handheld bottle firebomb was developed to attack Soviet tanks. Damn, nice. They called it a Molotov cocktail. So they were attacking the Molotov cocktails, anti-communist. Nice. Nice! Oh, shoot. That's actually really funny. So it was named after Molotov, kind of. In a roundabout way. Everyone loves a tryhard. Ooh, I know. Explains why anarchists use it so much. Got 'em, anarchitties. I can't find my... We took it, now it's the people's cocktail. Based. Yeah, so that's kind of not cool. The Shot, the urban guerrilla's reason for existence. The urban guerrilla's reason for existence, the basic condition in which he acts and survives, is to shoot. The urban guerrilla must know how to shoot well because it is required by this type of combat. In conventional warfare, combat is generally at a distance with long-range weapons. In unconventional warfare, in which urban guerrilla warfare is included, combat is at short range and often very close. To prevent his own death, the urban guerrilla must shoot first, and he cannot err in his shot. He cannot waste his ammunition because he does not possess a large amount, so he must conserve it. Nor can he replace his ammunition so quickly, since he is a part of a small team in which each guerrilla has to be able to look after himself. The urban guerrilla can lose no time, and thus has to be able to shoot at once. One basic fact, which we want to emphasize. Thank you so much for following, Desolate Mirror. which we want to emphasize completely, and whose importance cannot be overestimated, is that the urban guerrilla must not fire continuously using up his ammunition. It may be conserve these nuts. True. Cat tank. Oh, did you like my new little thing that I put there for everyone? Isn't that so cute? Right? It's a cat and a tank. Ah, cat tankerous. So silly. Okay. It may be that the enemy is responding to this fire precisely because he is waiting until the guerrilla's ammunition is all used up. And at such moment, without having the opportunity to replace his ammunition, the guerrilla faces a rain of enemy fire and can be taken prisoner or killed. In spite of the value of the surprise factor, which many times makes it unnecessary for the urban guerrilla to use his weapons, he cannot be allowed the luxury of entering combat without knowing how to shoot. And when face to face with the enemy, he must always be moving from one position to another, since to stay in one place makes him a fixed target, and as such very vulnerable. Hey, guess what? That means no fucking camping, alright? No camping in COD, and no camping IRL, please. The urban guerrilla's life depends on shooting and on his ability to handle his weapon well and to avoid being hit. When we speak of shooting, we speak of accuracy as well. Shooting must be practiced until it becomes a reflex action on the part of the urban guerrilla. To learn how to shoot and to have good aim, the urban guerrilla must train himself systematically, utilizing every practice method, shooting targets, even amusement parks and at home. Just saying, do it all the time, because that's what you're gonna have to do. It's not called waiting pork, it's called camping. Nobody likes a camper. And camp. Campitism. Capitalism. I keep trying to, yes. Oh, yeah, right. Exit capitalism. Yes. Shooting and marksmanship are the urban guerrilla's water and air. His perfection on the art of shooting may make him a special type of urban guerrilla, that is, a sniper. A category of solitary combatant indispensable in isolated actions. The sniper knows how to shoot at close range and at long range, and his weapons are appropriate for either type of shooting. Damn, this is bright as hell. Hold on, I have to turn this down. It's like fucking blinding me. There we go. And camp. In order to function, the urban guerrilla must be organized into small groups. A team of no more than 4 or 5 is called a firing group. A minimum of 2 firing groups, separated and insulated from other firing groups, directed and coordinated by 1 or 2 persons. This is what makes a firing team. Within the firing group, there must be complete confidence among the members. The best shot, and the one who knows how best to handle submachine guns, is the person in charge of operations. Right? So it's saying that you have to be able to trust these people explicitly, you know? So the best shot is in charge. The firing group plans and executes urban guerrilla action, obtains and stores weapons, and studies and corrects its own tactics. When there are tasks planned by the strategic command, these tasks take preference. But there is no such thing as a firing group without its own initiative. On the part of the firing group, the old type hierarchy, the style of the traditional revolutionaries, doesn't exist in our organization. This means that, except for the priority of the objective set by strategic command, any firing group can decide to raid a bank, to kidnap or blank an agent of the dictatorship. See, this is the part where you need to be reading along because I can't read all of it. I can't read all of this. It breaks TOS. A figure identified with the reaction or a foreign spy and can carry out any type of propaganda or war of nerves against the enemy without the need to consult with the general command. No firing group can remain inactive waiting for orders from above. Its obligation is to act. Any single urban guerrilla who wants to establish a firing group and begin action can do so, and thus becomes a part of the organization. This method of action eliminates the need for knowing who is carrying out which actions, since there is free initiative, and the only important thing is, point is, greatly increase the volume of urban guerrilla activity in order to wear out the government and to force it onto the defensive. The firing group is the instrument of the organized action. Within it, guerrilla operations and tactics are planned, launched, and carried through to success. The general command counts on the firing group to carry out objectives of strategic nature and to do so in any part of the country. For its part, the general command helps the firing group with their difficulties and with carrying out objectives of a strategic nature, and to do so in any part of the country. The organization is an indestructible network of firing groups and of coordinations among them that functions simply and practically within the general command that also participates in attacks. An organization...
I'm a tanky. Yeah, I'm a tanky. Yeah, I'm a tanky. We're riding that tank, mowing down the fucking snowflakes.
Beautiful. Alien dance. I need, what's that thing called? The BTTV or something where you can get more emotes for the channel. I need to put that on our channel. Gomer, you know what it's called. Yeah, I wouldn't want to be around anyone with a weapon unless I super trusted them, for real. Yeah, and I don't trust anybody right now, really. Actually, me and Sarah will do we'll be in a firing squad. BTTB and 7TB. I need to write that down. That's alright, I trust you. Sarah's just holding the gun like, ew, what do I do? Yeah, we all should touch a gun. I trust you. I trust Gomer. Okay, Sarah and Gomer, that will be my firing team. Oh, and Pork. Shit. Alright, so I guess I trust a few of you. Immediately start crying. Oh my god, what is it? Let's see.
Oh, hold up there, Buster. Oh, hey. Couldn't help but notice you're trespassing on my land.
Sorry, I was just hiking through. I didn't know this was private property.
Best get to stepping, son.
I could just get off if you need me to. I'm sorry, I didn't know that.
You're doing a lot of yammering, but unbeknownst to you, you're speaking your final words.
You don't need to brandish that weapon. I'm not gonna hurt you.
Well, sounds to me like we got
What
a
do you
bit
want
of
me to
a
watch?
smart ass on our hands.
You're ejecting a lot of shells there.
Yup.
You're not gonna have any left to shoot me.
What'd you just say to me?
It's like the 12th shell.
You little shit.
You already got one in the chamber. I've seen like 36 shells go through that gun.
Don't need them.
And do you have any left in there?
All right. I've had it up to here.
Oh, geez.
Take this.
I can just leave. You're not even.
Yeah, I'm shooting at you now.
Is that even a real gun?
Ah.
There's like 0 recoil to that gun.
Ah.
Dude, you're not even coming close to me here.
Alakablam.
I don't understand the physics of this.
You're gonna want to get.
Well, all right. Dude, how many shells do you have in that gun?
I got 57 more goddamn rounds in this 4-round magazine.
That's funny. I was actually just watching Gus Johnson last night. He's funny. Thank you for sharing that with us. That's funny. He does have good stuff. Aw, hey, Meatwings, thank you so much for gifting a tier 1 sub to Rod. So sweet. Pog! That's right, Sarah's on the Pog train. Whoop whoop! Okay. Where are we at? The firing group is the instrument of the organized action. Within it, guerrilla operations and tactics are planned, launched, and carried through to success. The general command counts on the firing groups to carry out the objective of a strategic nature and to do so in any part of the country. For its part, the general command helps the firing groups with the difficulties and with carrying out the objectives of a strategic nature and to do so in part of the country. Or in any part of the country. The organization is an indestructible network of firing groups and of coordinations among them. The functions that functions simply and practically within the general command that also participates in the attack, the organization that exists for no other purpose than of pure and simple revolutionary action. Okay, the logistics of the urban guerrilla. Conventional logistics can be expressed in the term FFEA: food, fuel, equipment, ammunition. Conventional logistics refers to the maintenance problems for any urban conventional logistics refers to the maintenance problems for any army or any regular armed force. Transported in vehicles with fixed bases and supply lines. Urban guerrillas, on the contrary, are not an army but a small armed group intentionally fragmented. They have neither vehicles nor areas. Their supply lines are precarious and insufficient, and they have no fixed basis except for the rudimentary sense of weapons factory within a house. Oh my god, what the heck is that thing? What is that? Is it an app? What is that thing? Amogus. Instrument? Maybe I am useful. Just hit him over the head with the guitar or something. Among Us has ruined the West. Amogus, right. Food, fuck, earbuds, ass. Gomer. What is that? I don't even know what this thing is. Oh wait, I see it now. Oh, it is a fucking Oh my god, I'm so stupid. Okay. Where are we at now? Fuck. Their supply lines are precarious and insufficient. They have no fixed basics except for rudimentary sense of weapons factory within a house. While the goal of conventional logistics is to supply the war needs of the guerrillas, who are used to repress rural and urban rebellion, urban guerrilla logistics aims at sustaining operations and tactics which have nothing in common with conventional warfare and are directed against the government and foreign domination of the country. For the urban guerrillas, who starts from nothing and who has no support at the beginning, logistics are expressed by the formula MMWAE: mechanization, money, weapons, ammunition, explosives. Revolutionary logistics takes mechanization as one of its bases. Nevertheless, mechanization is inseparable from the driver. The urban guerrilla is as important as the urban guerrilla machine gunner. Right? So it's saying that all jobs are fucking important. There's no unimportant job as an urban guerrilla. Without either, the machine guns do not work, and the automobile, as well as the submachine gun, becomes a dead thing. An experienced driver is not made in one day, and apprenticeships must begin early. Every good guerrilla must be a driver. As to the vehicle, the urban guerrilla must expropriate what he needs, and when he already has resources, the urban guerrilla can combine the expropriation of vehicles with his other methods of acquisition. Acquisition, not accusation. Acquisition. Red fash. Damn it. God damn it. When imposter is sus. Sussy. Oh my god. Small boy. Brain rot in the chat, for real. Please no Mogus in the chat. Don't be so authoritarian. Oh wow. Sarah is totally red fash. Confirmed. Sorry, Sarah. You're cancelled. You freaking Othcom. The only people who are revolutionary and comms. You know that. Okay, where are we at? Feels bad, man. www.auth.com. Money, weapons, ammunition, and explosives, and automobiles as well, must be expropriated. Go out and take that shit in a video game. The urban guerrilla must rob banks and armories and seize explosives and ammunition wherever he finds them. None of these operations is carried out for just one purpose. Even when the raid is to obtain money, the weapons that the guards carry must be taken as well. Expropriation is the first step in organizing our logistics, which itself assumes an armed and permanently mobile character. The second step is to reinforce and expand logistics, resorting to ambushes and traps in which the enemy is surprised and weapons, ammunitions, vehicles, and other resources are captured. Oh my god, this reminds me, this picture on the screen reminds me of Pork's GTA character. Pork, are you, yeah, you're thinking GTA 2. Listen, are you off work, Pork? Are you off work, Pork? Hello? Hello, Pork? Not yet? Dang it, what time? Still freaking 2? God damn it. Yes! Okay. Well, after we finish here, I'm gonna log on to Salcom 1 channel and we can play GTA if you want for a little bit, if you want to. Practice expropriation in a video game. Okay. Because I want to do that. Woo! Concerned Doge. Yeah, I'm setting up video game plans for after this. Don't judge me. I just want to make the helicopters of cops smash into the windmills. I'm just a simple girl with simple needs. Yeah. Okay, so I play this game like it's my favorite game. Yeah, we have actually a GTA firing group. It's a pretty good one. So we play this game where we grab trucks and we get like a whole bunch of cops on us, and then you just drive through the windmills and try to crash the helicopters on the blades of the windmills. It is the best game that I made up. It is so fun. And it's really hard to do, so when you get one, it's like, it's just so good. Okay. Back to Brazil. Once he has weapons, ammunitions, and explosives, one of the most serious logistic problems facing the urban guerrilla is a hiding place in which to leave the material. You need a stash, people. You need a good stash. An appropriate means of transportation and assembling it where it is needed. This has to be accomplished even when the enemy is alerted and has roadblocks. Alright, so you have to be better than the roadblocks. Roadblocks cannot stop you. The knowledge that the urban guerrilla possesses of the terrain and the devices that he uses or is capable of using, such as scouts, specially prepared and recruited for this mission, are the basic element of solving the eternal logistic problems faced by guerrillas. Characteristics of the urban guerrilla's tactics. The tactics of the urban guerrilla have the following characteristics. It is an aggressive tactic. In other words, it has an offensive character. You're not being defense, you're playing offense, right? That's what you want to do. It is well known defensive actions mean death for us. Since we are inferior to the enemy in firepower and have neither the resources nor his power base, we cannot defend ourselves against an offensive or concentrated attack by the guerrillas. Rebecca, why are you crying? Please do not be so sad. You're okay. Come here. She keeps crying. Rebecca, please don't cry. Where are you going? Okay, where am I at? That is the reason why our urban technique can never be permanent and can never defend a fixed base, nor remain in any one spot to repel the circle of repression. It is a tactic of attack and rapid withdrawal by which we preserve our forces. Rebecca, where are you going? You wanted to be up here, now you're up here. Oh my god, she's so ridiculous. It is a tactic that aims to develop the urban guerrilla warfare, whose function will be to wear out, demoralize, and distract the enemy forces, permitting the emergence and survival of a rural guerrilla. Rural guerrilla is a hard thing to say. Warfare, which is destined to play the decisive role in revolutionary war. Remember, no capitalism. Correct. You can't do that because then you're stationary and you're gonna get got. Surprise. So the initial advantages of the urban guerrilla. The dynamics of urban guerrilla warfare lie in the guerrilla's violent clash with the military and police force of the dictatorship. In this conflict, the police have superiority. The urban guerrilla has inferior forces. The paradox of is that the urban guerrilla is nevertheless the attacker. The military and police forces, for their part, respond to the conflict by mobilizing and concentrating greatly superior forces in the pursuit and destruction of the urban guerrilla. The guerrilla can avoid defeat if he depends on the initial advantage he has and knows how to exploit them to an end. To compensate for his weakness and lack of material, the initial advantages are: he must take the enemy by surprise. You must know the terrain of the encounter. You must have greater mobility and speed than the police or the repressive forces. You must, your information and services must be better than the enemy's. He must be in command of the situation by demonstrated decisiveness so great that everyone on our side is inspired and never thinks of hesitating, while on the other side the enemy is stunned and incapable of acting. I feel like that's what's happening right now. I make too many fresh Twitch crafts to waste time in a Twitch chat. Rare girl, right, Ron? Corporation for Public Broadcasting? Oh my god. Communist Party of Brazil. Oh, the fairy tale? Oh my god, what a fucking idiot. Welcome in, dummy. Also, see you later. Actually, see you never. You're banned. Gulag. Imagine like laughing at science. You like don't even know science, but you're laughing at silence or at science. That's so silly. Bye. Bye. Bye bye. Okay. Surprise. To compensate for his general weakness and shortage of weapons compared to the enemy, the urban guerrilla uses surprise. The enemy has no way to combat and becomes confused and is destroyed. When the urban guerrilla warfare broke out in Brazil, experience proved that surprise was essential to the success of the urban guerrilla operation. The technique of surprise is based upon 4 essential requirements: that we know the situation of the enemy we are going to attack, usually by means of precise information and meticulous observation, while the enemy does not know he is going to be attacked and knows nothing about the attackers. We know the strength of the enemy we are going to attack, and the enemy knows nothing of our strength. Attacking by surprise, we save and conserve our forces, while the enemy is unable to do the same and is left at the mercy of events. We determine in time and place of the attack, fix its duration, and establish its objectives. The enemy remains ignorant of all this information. Knowledge of the terrain. The urban guerrilla's best ally is the terrain, because this is so he must know it and because this is so, he must know it by like the palm of his hand. To have the terrain as an ally means to know how to use it with intelligence, its unevenness, its high and low points, its turns, its irregularities, its fixed and secret passages, its abandoned areas, its thickets, etc. Taking maximum advantage of all this for the success of armed action, escapes, retreats, covers, and hiding places, impasses and narrow spots, gorges, streets under repair, police checkpoints, military zones, and closed-off streets, the entrances and exits to tunnels, and those that the enemy can close off, corners controlled or watched by the police, traffic lights and signals. All of these things must be thoroughly known and studied in order to avoid fatal errors. Our problem is to get through and to know where to hide, leaving the enemy bewildered in areas he doesn't know, being familiar with the avenues, streets, alleys, ins and outs, and corners of the urban centers, its paths, its shortcuts, its empty lots.
Where are the Marxists here?
Got DJ going in the background. I thought of this dumb idea. Oh my god. Shit, are we gonna hide in the sewer? Yeah. We have to be Chad Ninja Turtles. Chad Ninja Turtles. Know everything. Forget nothing. Be ready. Always vigilant. No big deal, you guys. It's not even a big deal. We got this. I know, be ready to smell terrible. Nothing can be done. We have to be able to smell. You know? Sometimes. TMKF. Leave the enemy bewildered. Because he knows the terrain, the urban gorilla can pass through it on foot, on bicycle, in a car, jeep, or small truck and never be trapped. Acting in small groups with only a few people, the gorillas can rendezvous at a time and place determined beforehand, following up the initial attack with new guerrilla operations or evading police in blah blah. Or evading the police cordon and disorienting the enemy with their unexpected audacity. It is an impossible problem for the police in the labyrinthian terrain of the urban guerrilla to catch someone they cannot see, to repress someone they cannot catch, and to close in on someone they cannot find. Our experience is that the ideal guerrilla is one who operates in his own city and thoroughly knows its streets, its neighborhoods, its transit problems, and its other peculiarities. The guerrilla outsider who comes to a city whose streets are unfamiliar to him is a weak spot. If he is assigned certain operations, he can endanger them. To avoid grave mistakes, it is necessary for him to know the layout of the street. Oh. This is relevant because I like maps. To ensure mobility and speed that the police cannot match, the urban guerrilla needs the following: mechanization, knowledge of the terrain, a disruption or suspension of enemy transport and communications, and light weapons. By carefully carrying out operations that last only a few moments, and leave the site in mechanized vehicles, the urban guerrilla beats a rapid retreat, escaping capture. The urban guerrilla must know the way in detail, and in this manner must go through the schedule ahead of time as a training, and avoid entering alleyways that have no exit and running into traffic jams or being stopped by the transit department's traffic signals. The police pursue the urban guerrillas blindly without knowing which road he will take for his escape. While the urban guerrilla escapes quickly because he knows the terrain, the police lose his trail and give up chase. The urban guerrilla must launch his operations from the logistical centers of the police. A primary advantage of this method of operation is that it places us at a reasonable distance from the possibility of capture, which facilitates our evasion. In addition to this necessary precaution, the urban guerrilla must be concerned with the enemy's communication systems. The telephone is the primary target in preventing the enemy from accessing to inform The telephone is the primary target in preventing the enemy from access to information by knocking out his communication system. Right, so that's not like nearly as applicable today. Because we all have fucking cell phones, right? This isn't like that part doesn't matter. Even if he knows about the guerrilla operations, the enemy depends on modern transportation for his logistic support, and his vehicles necessarily lose time carrying him through the heavy traffics of a large city. It is clear that the tangled and treacherous traffic is a disadvantage for the enemy, as it would be if they were not ahead of him. Okay, so another thing I want to mention too is like your phone. If you're going to an action or something and like you're going to do something, you know, spicy, you shouldn't bring your phone. You should leave your phone at home. You should be able to function without your phone. If we want to have safe margins of security to be sure or certain to leave no tracks for the future, we can adopt the following methods. Deliberately intercepting the police with other vehicles or seemingly casual inconveniences on accident. So it's like another crash on the highway or something like that blocks the cops or whatever, like literally anything that you can think of that will slow those fuckers down. Obstruct the roads with fallen trees, rocks, ditches, false traffic signs, dead ends, or detours, and other clever methods. Place homemade mines in the way of the police, use gasoline or throw Molotov cocktails to set their vehicles ablaze. To set off a burst of submachine guns, machine gun fire or weapons such as the FAL aimed at the motor and tires of the car to engage in the pursuit. So it's saying to blow out the tires. In GTA, of course. I got a cartographer in the party. Nice. That's always good. Why are you so mad? Why are you so mad, Marxist Duck? Please don't be sad. The FAL is a gun, I'm assuming? Yeah, it's a gun. Obviously, yeah. I don't know this only because of Call of Duty. Oh, here it is. These are all in a video game guns, which is perfect because that's all we're talking about here is video games. It's a pew-pew stick. With the arrogance typical of the police and military authorities, the enemy will come to fight us equipped with heavy guns and equipment, with elaborate maneuvers by men armed to the teeth. The urban guerrilla must respond to this with light weapons that can be easily transported so he can escape with maximum speed without ever accepting open fighting. The urban guerrilla has no mission other than to attack and quickly withdraw. We would leave ourselves open to the most crushing defeat if we burdened ourselves with heavy weapons and with the tremendous weight of the ammunition necessary to use them, at the same time losing our precious gift of mobility. When our enemy fights against us with the cavalry, we are at no disadvantage as long as we are mechanized. The automobile goes faster than the horse. And from within the car, we also have a target on the mounted police, knocking him down with submachine gun and revolver fire or with Molotov cocktail and hand grenades. Spicy. On the other hand, it is not so difficult for an urban guerrilla on foot to make a target of a policeman on horseback. Right? Like those horse motherfuckers. Y'all can't be crying over the horses because that's partly why they get on those. First of all, I think that they still use those because it's like a power trip. And I also think that, I don't know, I think that people they like horses, you know? So like hurting a horse could garner like a lot of sympathy, right? Expropriate all the horses. True. Fuck it, I'm using Lenin. If you're an anarchist at 25, you have no heart. If you're a Marxist-Leninist by the time you're 35, then you have no brain. If you aren't, okay. Haha. We can take them and they can go live with my friend's horse who's like 30 and very lonely. Yeah, we need to be able to feed the horses and shit too. But yeah, I don't think it's good to like operate on a horse as an urban guerrilla. Why? Because you're loud as fuck. Like, you're an easy big target. And, like, you're never going to be able to get away. Where the fuck are you going to hide the horse? Like, it's just not going to work. You can't do that. No, you can't do horseback. Yeah, you're a huge, giant target. And the horse is so fucking loud. And you can't, like, control a horse all the time. Sometimes horses do what they please. Oh, that's funny, Merle. The automobile goes faster than the horse. Oh yeah, okay, we already did that one. On the other hand, it's not so difficult for the urban guerrilla on foot to make target of a policeman on horseback. Right, it's easy. Moreover, ropes across the street, marbles, and cork stoppers are very effective methods of making them both fall. Marbles, bro! Your horse is wrecked. Your horse is fucking wrecked with marbles. So fucking easy. The great disadvantage faced by the mounted police is that he presents the urban guerrilla with two excellent targets. The horse and its rider. Yeah, if you're a horseback, like, mounted police, you're fucked. Like, totally excellent. Ball bearings, though? Whatever, you know? On the other hand, it's not so difficult for the urban guerrilla on... Oh wait, I already did that one. Apart from being faster than the horseman, the helicopter has no better chance in pursuit. If the horse is too slow compared to the urban guerrilla's automobile, the helicopter is too fast. Moving at 200 kilometers an hour, it will never succeed in hitting from above a target that is lost among the crowd and street vehicles, nor can the helicopter land in public streets in order to capture someone. At the same time, whenever it flies too low, it will be excessively vulnerable to the fire of the urban guerrilla. Oh shoot. What made me become a socialist? I'm a communist, but what made me become a communist was my pursuit of knowledge towards the problems within our system today. So I was trying to figure out, like, what the problem was. You know, why is our government not working the way it should be? Well, it's actually working exactly how it should be. It's exactly how the bourgeoisie want it to work. You know, it's fine for them. Exactly. And that's what Engels said in The Principles of Communism. He says that it's not the actions of the proletariat that force revolution, but the actions of the bourgeoisie that make revolution inevitable, right? Because it's about what they're doing that's putting this harm on the proletariat, which makes them rise up, right? So I became a communist because I was looking for the right answers. And I believe I found them here. So, yeah, I believe that people are being hurt for no fucking reason. I believe that we have enough...
Say I'm a tanky, oh, I'm a tanky, yeah, I'm a tanky, yeah, I'm a tanky. We're riding that tank, mowing down the fucking snowflakes.
Shit, what was I saying? Haas totally got me off track. Anyways, I care about people, and I believe that we're being violently oppressed by the ruling class. And I don't think that's poggers, you know? Like, I believe that capitalism is going to kill us all. Oh, hi Ben. Thanks for being here. I'm gonna shout out for Ben. Yeah, tonight's is super, super spicy. Capitalism equals cringe. Yeah, so I basically just I care about like all the people, and that's why I'm a communist. Parenti versus Chomsky, right? Oh my fucking god. Chomsky is looking so bad lately. Poor old Chompy boy. Do you believe that our government serves the people? Oh my god! Holy shit, I just missed the fucking... I missed the name. Listen, in Q we trust. Oh shit. Trust the plan! Trust the plan! We're just gonna vote really hard. Nice shape. Emo. Is that Rob one? Yeah, Rob Rousseau. I love that. Ignore the plan. Ignore the plan. Ignore that the plan changes every week. I want to get rid of them too. Not gonna lie, I was waiting for you to pick that up. Right? I was just... Yeah, I'm a communist, so... Yeah. That means I care about people. I care about the people being oppressed by the bourgeoisie, which the bourgeoisie are the rich, right? The rich people, they just want to take all our money and take all of our lives even. For example, like imperialism, like the war on Afghanistan is a good fucking example to prove to everyone that the fucking rich do not give a shit. The people in Blackwater, the people at Raytheon, they just want that money, baby. They don't care how many Americans have to die. They don't care. Like,
They say I'm a tank. I'm a tank. Yeah, I'm a tanky. Yeah, I'm a tanky. We're riding that tank, mowing down the fucking snowflakes.
but the people who make like the tanks, literally, the people who make the planes, those people want the wars to continue. If they don't have a war, they can't sell their fucking tanks, right? Yeah, that's tanks. Thanks for following, InQ. War Gwowsy. War is a fucking racket. Yes, war runs on blood. Not the blood of the rich, the blood of the poor. Information. The chances that the government has for it discovering and destroying the urban guerrilla lessens as the power of the dictatorship's enemies become greater and more concentrated among the population. This concentration of the opponents of the dictatorship plays a very important role in providing information about the actions of the police and the government officials, as well as hiding the activities of the guerrillas. The enemy can and also will the enemy can also be thrown off with false information, which is worse for him because it is a tremendous waste. Right? So when they go and they look for me, if they use my bio thing, they're gonna go to the wrong place. I just think it's so funny how many people I like trick with my bio thing. Whatever. Critical thinkers? I think not. By whatever means, the source and information at the disposal. Where am I? Shit. at the disposal of the urban guerrilla are potentially better than those of the police. The enemy is observed by the people, but he does not know who among the people transmits information to the urban guerrillas. The military and the police are hated by the people for the injustices and violence they have committed, and this facilitates obtaining information which is damaging to the activities of the government agents. Information, which is only a small segment of support or popular support, represents an extraordinary potential in the hands of the urban guerrilla. The creation of an intelligence service with an organized structure is a basic need for us. Right? So we need the GIA, Guerrilla Intelligence Agency. I'm politically illiterate and I got the fucking joke, right? Like, come on! Humor is dead and it died on Twitter. Yes. No one can really help you. You have to help yourself. We have to help each other. Okay, where am I at? The urban guerrilla has to have vital information about the plans and movements of the enemy, where they are, how they move, the resources of their banking networks, their means of communication, and the secret activities they carry out. The reliable information passed on to the guerrillas represent a well-aimed blow to the dictatorship. The dictatorship has no way to defend itself in the face of the important leak, which facilitates our destructive attacks. The enemy also wants to know what actions we are planning so that he can destroy us and prevent us from acting. In this sense, the danger of betrayal is present. And the enemy encourages betrayal and infiltrates spies into the guerrilla organization. The urban guerrilla's technique against its enemy tactics is to denounce publicly the spies, traitors, informers, and provocateurs. Since our struggle takes place among the people and depends on their sympathy, while the government has a bad reputation because of its brutality, corruption, and incompetence, the informers, spies, traitors, and the police come to be the enemies of the people without supporters, denounced to the urban guerrillas, and in many cases properly punished. So the issue here for us right now is that, like, a lot of people are still like police cucks, right? They still like, oh, we love the police. Oh, like, despite the fact that they are, you know, beating the shit out of people in defense of capital, right? So how the fuck do we change this? These are my questions. How do we gain public support? And what do we do? How do we get there? Right? For his part, the urban guerrilla must not evade the duty once he knows who the spies or informers are of getting rid of the rat. You have to get rid of the rats. You can't leave the rats. Once they've proven themselves to be a rat, you must, you know, you can't do it. For complete success in the battle against spies and informers, it is essential to organize a counter-espionage or counterintelligence service. Nevertheless, as far as information is concerned, it cannot be all reduced to a matter of knowing the enemy's moves and avoiding the infiltration of spies. Intelligence information must be broad and it must embrace everything, including for the most insignificant material. There is a technique of obtaining information, and the urban guerrilla must master it. Following this technique, intelligence information is obtained naturally, as a part of the people, or as a part of the life of the people. Get rid of the Buddha Jujus. Don't raid the rats. For real. I swear to God, every time I hear this shit, it's like I'm gonna have an aneurysm. ACAB with a C. True. Ahab with a C. ACAB. Okay, where are we at? The urban gorilla, living in the midst of the population and moving... Thanks for following. You like that little cat tank? It's so cute, right? Hello, sweet little cat. Okay, the urban gorilla must be attentive to all types of conversations and human relations, learning how to disguise his interests with great skill and judgment. Is ice cream bourgeoisie? It is. I would say ice cream is bourgeois. Yeah, it depends on how you make it, I guess, right? Cat Tank sounds like a new Pokemon. I like that. Observation, investigation, reconnaissance, and exploration of the terrain are also excellent sources of information. So just go for a walk, sweaty. You're supposed to be a good walker anyways, remember? Eyes and ears open, senses alert. His memory is engraved with everything necessary now or in the future to the continued activity of the guerrilla fighter. Careful reading of the press with particular action to the mass communication media, the research of accumulated data, the transmission of news, and everything of note. A persistence in being informed and in informing others. All this makes up the intricate, immensely complicated question. Thank you for subbing, Marksy. Thank you for being here and subbing. The Red Army appreciates you. Shit. Where was I? The persistence of being informed and of informing others, all of this makes up the intricate and immensely complicated question of formation, which gives the urban gorilla a decisive advantage. Decisiveness. It is not enough for the urban gorilla to have in his favor surprise, speed, knowledge of terrain, and information. He must also demonstrate his command of any situation and a capacity for decisiveness, without which all other advantages will prove to be useless. Right? You can't sit on the pot. You have to shit or get off. No dilly-dallying. Make decisions, stick with those decisions. Yeah, Hayes, you've been quiet. Do you hate the stream? It's alright. Hayes just hates me. Dilly-dally is a fun word. No dilly-dallying. It is impossible to carry out any action, however well planned, if the urban gorilla turns out to be indecisive, uncertain, and irresolute. Even an action successfully begun can end in defeat if a command of the situation and the capacity for decision falter in the middle of the execution of the plan. When this command of the situation and capacity for decision are absent, the void is filled with hesitation and terror. The enemy takes advantage of this and is able to liquidate us. The secret of success of any operation, simple or complex, easy or difficult, is to rely on determined men. Strictly speaking, there are no simple operations. All must be carried out with the same care taken in the most difficult, beginning with the choice of the human elements, which means relying on leadership, and the capacity for decisions in every situation, right? So you already know, like, there is a fire squad leader, right? And that's the best marksman. And you have to just fucking listen. You can't be like arguing with your fire squad leader. You gotta just fucking do what they say. Otherwise, you could potentially die on accident. Good night, TMKF. Thank you for being here. Sweet dreams. One can see ahead of time whether the actions will be successful or not by the way its participants act during the preparatory period. Those who fall behind, who fail to make the designated contacts, are easily confused, forget things, fail to complete basic tasks of the work, possibly are indecisive men, can be a danger. It is better not to include them, right? So if you're fucking up and shit in practice and you're not really giving a shit, then you're probably not the best person to be on the fucking team because you're going to get everybody killed. The secret of success of any operation is simple or complex. Easy or difficult is to rely... Oh, whoops. Where did I do that? Oh, yeah. I already did that. Decisiveness means to put into practice the plan that has been devised with determination, with audacity, and with absolute firmness. It takes only one person to hesitate to lose all. Right? So, wow, Carlos, you're being so authoritarian. I'm sorry, Sweaty. That's how you do the war. You can't fucking... Let's all decide. Hold on, you guys. You know? Thanks for being here, Frog. Good night. Hold on, I'm gonna make this a little darker so we can all... Why is that doing that? That's so fucking weird. Okay, whatever. Okay. Hold on, I'm gonna just check how many freaking more chapters there are. Right now we are at objectives of the guerrilla action. Oh shit. We're only like halfway done. We might have to pick this back up another time because I am getting a little tired of reading, and maybe I'll have somebody funnier on with me. So it's less boring, you know? When do you get off work? What time? Exact time. Okay, I'll keep reading. Oh, okay. Bye. No one funnier than me. Ha! You fucking blowing smoke. Yeah. Yeah, we get Nazis in here. You know what we do with Nazis, though? You know what we do. With his tactics developed and established. Yes, Nazis go in the forever box. That's right. The forever box. With his tactics developed and established, the urban guerrilla trains himself in methods of action leading to attack and, in Brazil, has the following objectives. To threaten the triangle within which the Brazilian state and North American domination are maintained, a triangle whose points are Rio, Sao Paulo, and Belo Horizonte, and whose base is the axis Rio, São Paulo, where the giant industrial, financial, economic, political, cultural, military, and police complex that holds the decisive power in the country are located. To weaken the local militia and to secure and the security systems of the dictatorship that given the fact that we are attacking and the guerrillas. The guerrillas defending, which means or the guerrillas is like Gorilla. So when they use GOR, they are talking about like the police. But I know you can't see that, but so yeah, the guerrillas defending, which means catching the government in a defensive position with its troops immobilized, and it's the defense of the entire complex of national maintenance with its ever-present fears of an attack on its strategic nerve center and without ever knowing where or how or when the attack will come. Good night, Marxist Duck. Thanks for being here. To attack everywhere with many different armed groups, small in size, each self-contained and operating independently, to disperse the government forces into their pursuit of a thoroughly fragmented organization. Where the fuck was I? I just completely lost my part. To disperse the government forces in their pursuit of thoroughly fragmented organization. There we go. Instead of offering the dictatorship the opportunity to concentrate its forces in the destruction of one tightly organized system operating throughout the country. To give proof of its combativeness, decisiveness, or decision, firmness, determination, and the persistence of the attack on the military dictatorship, in order to allow all the rebels to follow in our example and to fight with the urban guerrilla tactics. Meanwhile, the government, with all of its problems, incapable of halting guerrilla action within the cities, will lose time and suffer endless attrition, and will finally be forced to pull back its repressive forces in order to mount guard over all the banks, industries, armories, military barracks, prisons, public offices, radios, and television stations. North American firms, gas storage tanks, oil refineries, ships, airplanes, ports, airports, hospitals, health centers, blood banks, stores, garages, embassies, residences of high-ranking members of the regime, such as ministers in general, police stations, official organizations, etc. So those are the things that you're supposed to go after. To increase urban guerrilla action gradually into an endless number of surprise raids, such as the fact that the government cannot leave the urban area to pursue guerrillas in the rural interior without running the risk of abandoning the cities and permitting rebellion increase on the coast as well as the interior. So, like, another cool thing that you can do is, like, before you're doing something, you direct a large amount of police to one area by, say, like an explosion or some shit. If you explode something somewhere and you do your operation elsewhere, like, I feel like that's pretty pog, you know? To force the army and police, their commanders and their assistants, to give up the relative comfort of tranquility of their barracks and to their usual rest, for a state of fear and growing tension in the expectation of attack or in search of trials which vanish without a trace. Trails. Like on the other end of the Skyrim map. Yeah. In a video game, obviously. To avoid open battle and decisive combat with government, limiting the struggle to brief, rapid attacks with lightning results. So it's saying, like, going head to head with the fucking military. That is suicide. Don't do that. Don't ever fucking do that. Don't do that shit. Like, the thing that the people are doing, yeah. Oh, I'm not going to go into that, but just don't do that. To ensure for the urban guerrilla a maximum freedom of movement and of action without ever relinquishing the use of armed action, remaining firmly oriented towards helping and formation of rural guerrilla warfare and supporting the construction of a revolutionary army for national liberation. On the types of missions for the urban guerrilla. In order to achieve the objectives previously listed, the urban guerrilla is obliged in his tactics to follow missions whose nature is as different or as diversified as possible. The urban guerrilla does not arbitrarily choose this or that mission. Some actions are simple, others are complicated. The inexperienced guerrilla must gradually be introduced into actions and operations which run from the simple to complex. He begins with small missions and tasks until he becomes completely experienced. Before any action, the urban guerrilla must think of the methods and the personnel at his disposal and carry out the mission. Operations and actions that demand the urban guerrilla's technical preparation cannot be carried out by someone who lacks technical skills. With these precautions, the mission which the urban guerrilla can undertake are the following: assaults, raids and penetrations, occupations, ambushes, streak tactics, strikes and work stoppages, desertions, diversions, seizures, expropriation of weapons, ammunitions and explosives, liberation of prisoners, liquidations, kidnappings in GTA, sabotage. I can't read the rest. I'm so sorry. War of nerves. So what does a war of nerves mean, right? What does that mean? That means you have to wear these bitches down. Wear these pigs down until they're so tired and mentally exhausted that they're fucking up. That's what we want in the video game. Assaults. Actually, I'm gonna skip this whole. I cannot read that. Okay, hold on. Let me see. Objection. Make people afraid. Yeah, make people afraid. Yes. No, not everyone. The people, right? The community should not be afraid of you. Who should be afraid of you is the enemy, right? The government, the police. The most popular, right? It's so spicy. I know. I know. Okay. So the bank assault as a popular mission, right? This is totally in a video game. Actually, I'm going to read part of that. Okay, so these missions can take place in broad daylight or at night. They can be to expropriate funds, to liberate prisoners, to capture explosives, submachine guns, and other types of ammunitions. Night assaults is usually most advantageous for the guerrilla. The idea is for assaults to take place at night. Oh shit, I said the word. When conditions for surprise attack are most favorable, right? Under the cover of night. That's the best time. Yeah. Dude really specifically likes SMGs a lot. Well, didn't he say that he liked them because of their like ammunition versatility? Is that not what he said? I feel like he said that. I don't know. I don't know much about guns. The urban guerrilla must prepare himself, nevertheless, to act under all conditions, daytime as well as night. The most vulnerable targets for assault are the following: credit establishments, commercial and industrial enterprise, including plants for the manufacturing of weapons. Right, so it's saying go after the plant. Go after the place that makes the stuff. Military establishments, commissaries and police station, jails, government property, mass communications media, North American firms and properties, government vehicles including military and police vehicles, trucks, armored vehicles, money carriers, trains, ships, and airplanes. So I'm going to skip over some stuff because we're running low long. But yeah, I definitely would recommend everyone reading this. It's not really that long at all. So like, seize the means of production. Well, actually in this one it's telling you just to burn that bitch down. Because that's what they use to make more weapons and shit. If you can't like keep control of it, then you just need to break it. You know? Meow. Okay, so the bank assault. The bank assault is a typical expropriation, but as is true with any kind of armed expropriatory action, the guerrilla is handicapped by twofold competition. Competition from the outlaw, competition from the right-wing counter-revolutionary. So these are two other groups of individuals that are carrying out assaults on the bank, right? This competition produces confusion, which is reflected in the people's uncertainty, right? Because the people don't know who these factions are. So the counter-revolutionaries and the outlaws are indiscriminately like stealing and doing whatever the fuck they want to. But the urban guerrilla does not. The urban guerrilla is principled in his acts, right? So, but it's hard for the people, you know, to figure out who's on their side and who's not. You must avoid the outlaw techniques, which is one of unnecessary violence and the expropriation of goods and possessions belonging to the people. So the people and the people's goods are completely off limits because we are principled and we are trying to help the fucking people, not steal from the people. But the outlaws and the counter-revolutionaries do not give a fuck. So they won't act like that. He must use the assault for propaganda purposes at the very moment it is taking place and later distribute materials, leaflets, every possible meaning of explaining the objectives and principles of the urban guerrilla as expropriator. of the government and its ruling class. So it's saying, yeah, you do the thing, but also tell the people like why you're doing this shit, so they don't like lose their mind, you know? And so they support you. Raids and penetrations. Raids and penetrations are rapid attacks on establishments located in neighborhoods or even in the center of the city, such as small military units, commissaries, hospitals, to cause trouble, to seize weapons, punish and terrorize the enemy, take reprisals, or rescue wounded prisoners, or hospitalize under police guard. Or those hospitalized under police guard. So it's saying go and fucking take them back. Raids and penetrations are also made on garages and depots and destroy vehicles and damage installations, especially if they are North American firms and properties. Fuck that shit up. In Grand Theft Auto. When they take place on certain stretches of the highway or in certain distant neighborhoods, these raids can serve to force the enemy to move great numbers of troops. A totally useless effort, since when they get there, they will find nobody to fight. When they are carried out in certain houses, offices, archives, or public offices, the purpose is to capture or search for secret papers and documents which will denounce deals, compromise the corruption of men in government, their dirty deals, and criminal transactions. So it's saying go and steal their secret documents, and if they show you like the shit they're doing wrong, then make that shit public. Raids and penetrations are most effective if they're carried out at night. Occupations. In Roblox. Occupations are a type of attack carried out when the urban guerrilla stations themselves in specific establishments and locations for a temporary action against the enemy for some propaganda purpose. The occupation of factories and schools during strikes or at other times is the method of protest or of distracting the enemy's attention. The occupation of radio stations is for propaganda purposes. See, now we don't need radio stations anymore. I don't feel like... Do you feel like we need radio stations? I don't know. Probably we need some sort of radio, because if we ever do get started, they're definitely going to cut like internet and cell service and all like that shit, right? Occupation is a highly effective model for action, but in order to prevent losses and material damage to our forces, it is always a good idea to plan on the possibility of a forced withdrawal. It must always be meticulously planned and carried out at an opportune moment. Occupations always have a time limit, and the swifter they are completed, the better. Commie radio, carrier pigeons, pirate radio. I need internet radio for my Joe Rogan podcast, so. Oh my god, I can't believe fucking Joe Rogan was telling everybody he fucking took ivermectin. Like, why? Why are we doing that? He said he took the other stuff too. What's the other stuff that was going? That everyone was like, don't take that. And then, like, people are just gonna take it. He took all the shit that it was like, can't tell me what to do. Patriotic choking noises. Hydroxychloroquine. Yeah, hydroxychloroquine. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, he took all this stuff. Ugh, fucking Joe Rogan. Dude. Okay, ambushes. Y'all know what a cute ambush is. You know what an ambush is. Joe Rogan horse girl arc. Do you support state narrative in general or only in medical topics? Oh, I'm sorry. Are you like one of those people who doesn't believe in COVID? I've personally taken the vaccine. I believe in COVID and vaccinations, but I asked a more general question. No, you asked a dickhead question. You're kind of being like a dick right now. So I'm gonna be a dick right back, okay? That's how it works. Educate you on what? I'm educating you on Mini Manual of the Urban Guerrilla. Not fucking Joe Rogan pushing something. Is Joe Rogan... Hey, wait. Is Joe Rogan a scientist or a doctor? Is he? Because I don't fucking think he is, right? So I think it's wildly inappropriate and dangerous for him to be saying to his millions of fans that he's taking drugs that have not been scientifically approved for this purpose. Okay? There's your education. Right, but you seem to repeat state narrative here, are you not? Are the scientists not working for the state corporate cabal? I feel like that... What the fuck are you talking about, though? Like, do you think it's, like, safe to be telling people to take things that is not prescribed by your doctor? I'm a proud vaccine haver. Yeah, me too. How can we convince people who are brainwashed against anything that's slightly different from capitalism? I don't know. I don't know how to fix brainwashing. I don't know. You fix brainwashing through education. I would guess. State narrative. State narrative of not taking things that are not fucking prescribed by your doctor. What a joke. The tablet form of... Okay, you're going. Bye. I'm not gonna argue like anti-vax with some fucking sea lion in the chat. Sorry. Right? Like, people look at these deaths and like these like great deaths, and the fact that the hospital here is completely full, right? And as they're choking and dying from COVID, they deny COVID's existence because they're like, well, that's a state narrative. That didn't... They are lying to me. You know? Like, excuse me. No. If you're not going to believe, like, the most basic things of, like, the people dying, like, I don't know what to tell you. I'm not gonna do it. You've definitely got me off track, though, so great job, Sea Lion. Hello, Moonstar. I was just yelling at a troll. Don't take medicine that you hear about online. This is not a controversial statement, okay? Just don't do it. And definitely, if you have fans of hundreds of millions, it is greatly irresponsible to be pushing this, okay? Greatly irresponsible. Thank you, Moonstar. Appreciate that. Okay. Here we go. Ambushes. We're doing ambushes now. It's like that guy just ambushed me with some ridiculousness. When you look at the early life section of man who destroyed Makovia and Makovis tree. Yeah, hello, Happy Merchant Origin. Yes, we know that Trotsky destroyed Magnovia. It's like the only cool thing he did. Silly point to argue from, but if hot dogs are tasty, that doesn't make all things tasty hot dogs, right? A lying and manipulative state can still occasionally utter truth here or there. No use in being edgy or contrarian that just opposes everything the state says on principle. Right. Like anti-establishment is not an ideology, right? It's just not. It's not a coherent one. There has to be other stuff there. You can't just be like, America bad. Like, yes, America very bad. We definitely know that. But like, the scientists are not bad, right? They're not. I don't know. Unless you're believing in like some grand like Q level conspiracy where the vaccine is going to sterilize us all and only the ruling class will survive, and they secretly didn't even get any vaccines, and it's just population control for everyone. Like, is that what you believe? Like, what's your thing here? Like, what's your fucking angle, dude? Come on. I've seen that movie too. It's actually a good movie. Utopia? It's actually a pretty good movie. John Cusack redid it for Amazon, and it was less good, though. Also, John Cusack blocked me on Twitter. Fuck you, John. Be able to take some fucking constructive criticism, you goddamn lib. Okay. Okay, ambushes are attacks typified by surprise when the enemy is trapped on the road or when he makes a police net surrounding a house or estate. A false alarm can bring the enemy to a spot where he falls into a trap. He blocked you too? Nice! The principal object of the ambush is to capture enemy weapons and to punish him with the spice that I cannot tell you. This is why it's good to read along with me. If you would like to read along with me, here it is. But I cannot read that part. I can't read it. Ambushes to halt passenger trains are for propaganda purposes, and when they are troop trains, the objective is to blank the enemy and to seize his weapons. Redacted. Yes. The urban guerrilla's sniper is the kind of fighter specially suited for ambush because he can hide easily in the irregularities of the train, on the roofs, and on the top of buildings and apartments under construction. From windows and dark places, he can take careful aim at his chosen target. Ambush has devastating effects on the enemy, leaving him unnerved, insecure, and fearful. Right? So it's the war on the nerves. Spice the enemy. Ho Chi Minh. Uncle Ho. Yes, look at that. So in 1968, the Brazilian students used excellent street tactics against the police troops, such as marching down streets against traffic and using slingshots and marbles against mounted police. Other street tactics consist of constructing barricades, pulling up paving blocks, and hurling them at the police in a video game. throwing bottles, bricks, paperweights, and other projectiles. So literally, like, this is what they're telling you. As a guerrilla fighter, anything can be an enemy if you just think hard enough, you know? Dropped from the top of apartment buildings or buildings and other structures for escape, for hiding, and other supported surprise attacks. It is equally necessary to know how to respond to enemy tactics. When the police troops come wearing helmets to protect them against flying objects, we have to divide ourselves into two teams, one to attack them from the front and one from the rear, withdrawing as one of them goes and the other comes into action to prevent the first from being struck by the projectiles from the second. For the same token, it is important to know how to respond when to the police net. When the police designate certain of their men go into the crowd and arrest the demonstrators, a large group of urban guerrillas must surround the police, disarm them, and redacted them, and at the same time allowing the prisoner to escape. This urban guerrilla operation is called a net within the net. So you must be a net within the net. The police net is formed at a school building, a factory, a place where demonstrators gather, or at some other point. The guerrilla must not give up or allow himself to be taken by surprise. To make his net effective, the enemy is obliged to transport his troops in vehicles and special cars to occupy strategic points in order to invade the buildings or chosen locale. The urban guerrilla, for his part, must never clear a building or empty area in a meeting and meet in it without first knowing all the exits, the way to break the encirclement, and strategic points that the police must occupy, and the roads that will be inevitably lead to the net. He must hold other strategic points from which to strike the enemy at. The roads followed by police vehicles must be mined at key points along the way and at forced roadblocks. When the mines explode, the vehicle will be knocked into the air. The police will be caught in a trap and will suffer losses and be the victims of ambush. The net must be broken by escape routes, which are unknown to the police. The rigorous planning and withdrawal is the best way to frustrate any encirclement effort on the part of the enemy. Where there is no possibility of escape plan, the urban guerrilla must not hold meetings, gatherings, or do anything, since to do so will prevent him from breaking through the net, which the enemy will surely try and throw around him. What type of communist am I? I'm a Marxist-Leninist. Aspiring Marxist-Leninist. Interesting how there are many different tools in defense for the urban guerrilla or the urban environment, and all it takes is imagination. Yes. And us communists are so good with imagination, right? Because I feel like it takes imagination to be able to think of a better world, right? Like these conservatives, these liberals, they don't fucking have imagination. They don't have anything. They have a bunch of excuses is what they have. Oh, we can't do this. We must do this instead, How can we get rid of all the violence, by the police? Oh, I'm sorry. We just have to incrementally do it. They don't have any idea of a better world. Yes, they do. Dissolve the state in the end, the B-mans. Imagination plus an understanding of material political power versus procedural power, and a lot can be done. Yes. Yes. It's your empathy, your imagination, your knowledge that makes you powerful, I feel like, or effective, or just a communist in general. Maybe not powerful or effective, but that's the measure of a communist. The material analysis of how things are happening right now. Finally realizing that we are living in a dictatorship. We are living in the dictatorship of the bourgeoisie, a dictatorship of the rich. And we must break free from that by any means necessary. Could somebody educate me on why the USSR didn't dissolve the state? Okay, well, I can't do it like all in one, but after the death of Stalin, it was no longer ran by communists, right? So these were reformists. But basically that's why. Yeah, also that too. Like we have to have worldwide socialism where all the workers own the means of production, and then we can start working on stateless, classless, moneyless society, right? Because communism is worldwide. It just is. But yeah, after Stalin was the person who synthesized Lenin's writings and kind of was influenced most greatly by Lenin. So he actually created Marxist Leninism, right? Marxist Leninism is synthesized by Stalin. And after the death of Stalin, yeah, it just wasn't run by communists. It was a terrible shame. But I definitely think that we're going to have a more historical and in-depth look at that on this show, just not right now. Yeah, you can't have a stateless society in one country just to have the people organized like militias and defend themselves. Right. Well, okay. So the reason why they hold on to the state is because we are transforming that state. Like, we wouldn't use all the same people from the military, right? We would completely start over, but we would still use their tools to protect against reactionary forces. Like, let's say, the army of Joe Rogan's. Joe Rogan and his army, which will absolutely form in the event of a fucking communist takeover. So we have to be able to defend against that. No, we definitely cannot. No. We cannot have pockets of anarcho-communism. Strikes and work interruptions. The strike is a model, because those are just communes, right? And communes are liberal shit. That's escapism. If you're going to a commune, you are giving up on the fight. What you need to do is do things to build, like, power in your community, like the Black Panther Party did. The Black Panther had survival programs, which was meant to educate, to build class consciousness, and to make their community whole so that they could fight the power. Right? They just didn't get that far. Didn't get far enough. But actually, they wrote a book, the Black Panther Party Programs, which I actually have created already a beautiful presentation. So yeah, maybe we can do that one day, and we can learn about that. But yeah, if we build these things, we build our community up while building class consciousness. This is the way that we can get people ready to do the thing. Okay, strikes and work interruptions. The strike is a model of action employed by the urban guerrilla in work centers and schools to damage the enemy by stopping work and steady activities. So these are things that could absolutely be used today, but we don't have any people organized. I mean, we have some. We definitely have some, like Nabisco. We saw a little bit with Amazon, but these are things that regular people can be doing, like helping, right? With what can we do to help strikers? We can gather funds, collect funds for these workers to stay off of work for as long as possible. We can collect them food, a food pantry. Food pantries are a good way to feed them while they are doing this for us, right? If they don't have the means to do it, they're not going to do it. You understand? It is up to us, if these people are striking, to help them out. Because it is one of the weapons most feared by the exploiters and oppressors, the enemy uses tremendous firepower and a credible blank against it. The strikers are often taken to prison, suffer beatings, and many of them wind up killed. Okay, so an example of this is the Pullman strike in the 1900s, right? Done by Eugene Debs. And what happened in the Pullman strike? Well, they fucking took over the railway cars of the... Shit, I forget which railway. Oh, is it? Oh, it's probably the Pullman Railway Company. What a dork. Okay, so the Pullman Railway strike. Yeah, that shit got fucked. And so what happens is they were like living in company towns too, and the company town people like made rent more expensive, they made food more expensive, and they didn't increase the wages. So like obviously the workers were fucked, and they were getting evicted from their stupid fucking company town home. So yeah, they were fighting that way. And actually that is really funny that we're talking about this right now, is because that's how we got Labor Day. After they like killed a whole bunch of people, the police, that is, they did like a massacre. After they did that, they're like, you know what we're gonna do? We feel pretty bad, folks, but if you stop, we'll give you Labor Day, which is like fucking, some people don't even get that day off work. But yeah, that's why we have Labor Day. Thanks. Yeah, anarchism wants the same goal as communism. There's just a different way to get there. Yeah, me too. I'm surprised that they're... Well, they did have some, and then they, you know, they murdered them. They murder them a lot. That's what they do. That's why people are scared to be communists openly. It's because they literally will black bag you and blacklist you and murder you. Fucking American propaganda. I try to convince people around me that they're contradicting themselves and arguing against communism. Right, yeah. Silly babies. Okay. So the urban guerrilla must prepare the strike in such a way as to leave no track or clue that can identify the leaders of such action. A strike is successful when the is organized by a small group if it is carefully prepared in secret using the most clandestine methods. Weapons, ammunition, Molotov cocktails, homemade weapons of destruction and attack. All of these things must be supplied beforehand in order to meet the enemy, right? And this is a lot of thing that you see online. People will be like, we need a general strike, and then they'll like hashtag general strike. But like, bruh, you have not put together the necessary things that these people need to strike. And also, who the fuck are you talking about? Like, who are you talking to generally strike? Like everyone? Like key sectors? Like what's your fucking situation? These things are not really thought out. Literally indoctrinated into the education system. Yeah. Yeah, the American, I used to be like a silly American who was sick with propaganda. Absolutely sick with it. But through education, I am less affected by propaganda because I know still that there's things that I haven't worked through that are still highly propagandized views. Like you never know until you come up with that specific thing, you know? Like I can't just pull up out of my head where I'm like where I'm still a donkey brain. Okay. In certain cases, strikes and brief work interruptions can offer an excellent opportunity of preparation or preparing ambushes or traps, whose aims is the physical blank of the police. The basic fact is that the enemy suffers losses as well as material and moral damage and is weakened by the actions. Oh my god. I feel like we're so close, but we're so far away from being done. I regret joining the army, but I did put some of the bullshit on full display yeah. Okay, I'm gonna skip through like some of the stuff because we're running out of time. When there's no possibility of deserting with weapons and ammunition, the military urban guerrilla must engage in sabotage, starting fires and explosion in munition dumps. This technique of deserting with weapons and of raiding and sabotaging military centers is the best way of wearing out and demoralizing the enemy and leaving them confused. The urban guerrilla's purpose is disarming the individual enemy and individually. Jesus Christ. Just capture the enemy's weapons, that's what it's saying. These weapons were usually in the hands of sentinels and others whose task is guard duty. The capture of weapons may be accomplished by violent means or by cleverness and tricks or traps. When the enemy is disarmed, he must be searched for weapons and those other than those who's already been taken from him. If we are careless, he can use the weapons that were not seized to shoot the urban guerrilla, right? The seizure of weapons is an efficient method of acquiring submachine guns. The urban guerrilla's most important weapon. Yeah, he's talking about his submachine gun again. He does love that thing. Girls just want to eat the rich. Liberation of prisoners. The guerrilla operations that can be used in liberating prisoners are the following: riots in penal establishments, in correctional colonies or camps, or in transport or prison ships, assault on urban or rural prisons, detention centers, prison camps, or any other permanent or temporary place where the prisoners are held, assaults on prisoners' transportation trains or convoys, raids and penetrations of prisons, ambushing of the guard who moved the prisoners. I can't even say. This is what the next one is about that I'm gonna skip over. Okay? Thank you so much, Moonstar. Jake. Hello, Reggie. I'm almost done. I'm skipping over some parts. I'm skipping over this part. Capture the flag is what I called another thing that I have to skip over. I cannot say these things. I cannot advocate for these things. I don't think I can even read it out loud on there. So you're going to have to look here. You're going to have to just go here yourself. Just take a little look. Take a look. Sabotage. Legally speaking, yes. Legally speaking, because I agree with this book a lot. So the objective of sabotage is to hurt, damage, or make useless and destroy vital enemy points, such as the following: the economy of the country, agriculture and industrial production, transport and communication, military police systems and their establishment depots, the repressive military police system, the firms and proprietors, or properties, proprietors, the firms and properties of exploiters in the country. Terrorism. I'm not reading this one. I'm already considered a terrorist. Hello, ICB3. Yeah, Marighella is awesome. Climate change is real, folks. So, armed propaganda. So anything that you take, like airplanes diverted in flight by guerrilla action, ships, trains assaulted, seized by armed guerrillas, can also be carried out solely for propaganda purposes. But the urban guerrilla must never fail to install a clandestine press and must always be able to turn out mimeographed copies using alcohol or electric plate and other duplicating apparatus, expropriating what he cannot buy in order to produce small clandestine newspapers, pamphlets, flyers, and stamps for propaganda and agitation. So not only is, like, I love the emphasis on propaganda too, like yeah, you have to do all the Chad shit, but you also need to tell people why the fuck you're doing it. Effective propaganda explains what the problem is and, like, kind of puts you towards a direction, right? Even in this influence exercised in the heart of the people by every possible propaganda device revolving around the activity of the urban guerrilla does not indicate that our forces have everyone's support, because they will not. It is enough to win support of a portion of the population, and this can be done by popularizing the motto, "Let he who does not wish to do anything for the guerrillas do nothing against them." Right? If you don't like us, that's fine. Don't fuck with us. The war of the nerves. Yes, the frogs are propaganda. People gotta know about your Chad shit you're doing, helping them out. Absolutely, that's right. The war of nerves, or psychological warfare, is an aggressive technique based on the direct or indirect use of mass media and rumors in order to demoralize the government. In psychological warfare, the government is always at a disadvantage because it imposes censorship on the media and winds up in a defensive position by not allowing anything against it to filter through. At this point, it becomes desperate. It involves greater contradictions and loss of prestige, and loses time and energy in exhausting efforts to control, which is liable to be broken at any moment. The objective of the war of nerves is to mislead, to spread lies among the authorities in which everyone can participate, thus creating an atmosphere of nervousness, discredit, insecurity, uncertainty, and concern along the part of the government. The best method used by urban guerrillas on the war of nerves is the following. Use of telephones and mail to announce false clues, right? So it's just like calling in fake tips, fake wrong tips. Including information on planting of bombs or any other terrorist things. So you just fucking... Oops. Letting false plans fall into the hands of the police to divert their attention. Planting rumors to make the government uneasy. Exploiting by every means possible the corruption, the mistake, and the failures of the government and its representatives, forcing them to demoralize. Oh, hey, thanks for following. Where was I at? Forcing them into demoralizing explanations and justifications in the very communication media they wish to maintain under censorship. Presenting denunciations to foreign embassies and United Nations and the papal nunciature and the internal commissions defending human rights or freedom of press, exposing each concrete violation and each use of violence by the military dictatorship and making it known that revolutionary war will continue with serious danger for the enemy population. Make the rich afraid again. Yes. Hello. Welcome in. Okay. How to carry out the actions. So, the revolutionary method of carrying out actions is strongly and forcefully based on the knowledge and use of the following elements: investigation and intelligence gathering, observation and vigilance, reconnaissance or exploration of terrain, study and timing of routes, mapping, mechanization, careful selection of personnel, selection of firepower, study and practice in success, use of cover, retreat, dispersal, the liberation or transfer of prisoners, the elimination of evidence, and the rescue of the wounded. The problem of the wounded in urban guerrilla warfare merits special attention. During guerrilla operations, the urban area, it may happen, or in the urban area, it may happen that some comrade is wounded by the police. When a guerrilla is firing, when a guerrilla in the firing group has knowledge of first aid, he can do something for the wounded comrade on the spot. Under no circumstances should the wounded guerrilla be abandoned at the site of the battle or left in the enemy's hands. Alright? That's not how we do shit. Look, it's even got fucking trotters up there. A well-laid security means there are no spies or agents infiltrated in our midst, and the enemy can receive no information about us, even through indirect means. No, that's for Hayes. That's Hayes's mark. The fundamental way to ensure this is to be strict and cautious in recruiting, nor is it permissible for everyone to know everything about everyone. This rule is a fundamental ABC of the urban guerrilla security. The enemy wants to annihilate us and to fight us relentlessly, and fights us relentlessly to find and destroy us. So our greatest weapon lies in the hiding from him and the attack from surprise. Yes, Ahab. Beautiful. No, not Saljot arc. No! The 7 sins of the urban guerrilla. Inexperience, vanity, boasting, exaggeration of strengths, rash action, to attack the enemy when they are most angry. So you can't attack the enemy when they're angry. You have to attack them when they're surprised. Because if you attack them when they're angry, they will just fucking unload. I mean, they're gonna unload anyways, but like it's gonna be worse. Failure to plan things and to act spontaneously. Popular support. Discipline is necessary. Yes. The government has no alternative except to intensify its repression, right? It has no other option than to make things worse, which is what that's going to do what? That's going to make more guerrillas. Okay? The police network, house searches, the arrest of suspects, the innocent persons, and the closings off of streets make life in the city unbearable. The military dictatorship embarks on massive political persecution, political assassination, and police terror become routine. In spite of all this, the police systematically fail. The armed forces, the Navy, the Air Force, are mobilized to undertake routine police functions, but even so, they can find no way to halt guerrilla operations or to wipe out the revolutionary organization with its fragmented groups that move around and operate throughout the city. So, this is the last one. It's Sweet Baby Fred. You can kill a revolutionary, but you can never kill the revolution. All power to the people. We did it. We didn't finish the whole book. We kind of like did a little skim of the last few chapters. So if you have not read and you want to read, I will put this in the chat for you. It's definitely one of my favorite books. I like it. Yeah. I wonder who's online. Do we know who is online? Thank you all for being here. Thank you for everyone who subbed. Now you guys can use this the hilarious Ahab, which we love so much. Let's see who's online. We have actual Jake online. Oh, there's quite a bit of people online today. Okay. We have Superfly Trans Guy. GTA. Oh, nice. We have Pinko the Bear. Love Pinko. We have Clydeson. We have Class Time. Who do we want? Yes, it appears so. I don't know Superfly. I think I've seen them in chat before. But yes, they are doing GTA right now. Okay, let's see. Do y'all like Pinko? I like Pinko. Let's do Pinko. What do you think about Pinko? Pinko? I like Pinko too.
This cryptography space was with the Central Intelligence Agency.
Okay.
Where developers
we're gonna raid into
sat down
Pinko.
with people and they said, "Don't worry, this is not going to threaten you. This is not
Thank
gonna
you all
threaten
for
the
being here. Thank you so
supremacy
much
of US
to
law. This is not gonna
everyone
threaten US,
who came.
hegemony."
I appreciate you. Hey, Reggie, thanks for subbing to our joint channel. I actually subbed with my Prime too. I love it. Thanks for subbing. Okay. We're going to bounce out to Sweet Pinko.